Unveiled. Let's talk about some exciting Coronation Street news, Gemma. And this is there were a few little mini bits of news this week, but I wanted to focus mostly on the main mega talking point this week, which has kind of come out of nowhere, hasn't it?
Yes, it really did. It was news that dropped on Twitter from
Duncan Lindsay from the Metro.
And he's like, "Oh, I've got some news. I've got some interesting news."
Yeah, to drop at midnight.
And I was like, "Oh, for God's sake!"
And I'd gone to bed.
Bad.
I was in bed at about 11 o'clock that night. When was it? Tuesday night, maybe. And I saw that he tweeted this. I was like, "Oh, yeah." I was like, "Oh, this could be bad," because like midnight announcements on Coronation Street don't happen too much. I mean, I think is it like Monday at midnight they say what's going to happen on next week's show. So I thought it was not going to be that. So I was thinking, well, either somebody else is leaving, or maybe they've cast somebody, maybe, or...
I just immediately went to, this is going to be bad.
I went bad as well. Or I thought that maybe Ian McLeod has announced that he's left. But it was none of those things. It was
something
set
entirely
news.
Unexpected.
Yes. There's a new development, building development. Building development, I can't speak. So excited. Going on at Coronation Street. Like, right now, I think it started.
The much discussed Weatherfield Precinct that we have never been able to see is now going to be revealed on air.
Yes. This is something that they just started building this week, or maybe it's next week it's starting properly, I don't know. And they're imagining it's going to take about 6 months to complete. It seems like a fairly small sort of area.
Oh, okay. I don't know enough about other countries to know whether this is a common setup, but in England, in Great Britain, I think this is a fairly common thing. Pedestrianised kind of like square of shops, which will have 2 stories, and upstairs will be flats and the downstairs will be shops. Yes. And this is like a pretty common sight in almost any kind of outside of a city centre. In the suburbs of any town or city, you'll get precinct-y type places that are pedestrianised, so no cars allowed down there, and you'll have just like takeaways. What kind of shops are normally in there? Like charity shops, takeaways, laundrettes, betting shops,
video rental stores, shops, maybe not so much anymore. Vaping shops,
little cafes,
all
those kind of like not high end, not really chains,
and probably at least one of them is a front for money laundering.
Probably, yeah.
So maybe Hashim should have just waited this out and gone there instead.
And I don't know canonically if there are any specific shops that have been referred to as being in the precinct, except that we do know that there are definitely charity shops, because that's where Craig was going to find out about...
yes, to go and find out the crutch.
The crutch.
He did, didn't he? Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I mean, the precinct has been something that has been mentioned on and off on Corrie over the years. Mostly, I can imagine like Sophie saying, I'm just off down the precinct. But
this
no,
would
never
be
seen
where
it before.
the wayward youths might congregate to harass grannies.
I think so. And the fact that Coronation Street is focusing more at the moment on the young characters, it's kind of nice that they got somewhere to hang out that's not a garden, which is where they all seem to be loitering at the moment.
This is not going to be a very pretty place.
No, I think that's the idea of it. It's supposed to be a bit of a dive,
It's a bit gritty, and I would imagine that they're going to make it look like it's been there forever. So it's not... most
they'll
of these
age it very well.
places are going to be old looking, clapped out.
So there's you can see,
speaking fondly as somebody who's spent a lot of time in crapped out crap holes.
Not anymore, Gemma. We've moved on.
I'm moving on up. We've got a Greggs around the corner, right?
I wonder if there'll be a Greggs there.
There should be a Greggs there. This is the other thing. This is going to be an opportunity for them to shoehorn in a few more branded storefronts.
It would not surprise me if they do that, and I don't know what I feel about that. Well, no, actually, I do know what I feel like that. I don't think I like it anymore.
Personally, I don't mind it, because again, I think it adds a bit of realism.
It does, but it just kind of really, really, really narrows the amount of real life brands that can get mentioned, whereas before you might see a tin of Heinz beans or something, but now you can't. Or you know what I mean? It's like everybody on the show has now got an EE router in their shop, and everybody goes to what's the one what's still left there? Is it Costa that's left?
No, Costa's gone.
Oh yeah, that's right. Everyone's got a Co-op bag.
Yeah.
It's
not that weird.
I know, and to be honest, it will be weird if none of the shops are real brands, I suppose, when it opens, won't it? Before we go on to kind of ideas and theories and everything, I just wanted to describe this place. I mean, for those of you who haven't seen the pictures, there are like 2 CGI artist impressions sort of thing of what it's going to look like, which are very easy to find online if you search Weatherfield Precinct. But there's, you got your bottom row of shops.
It looks like where you might get stabbed.
Possibly, yeah. There's what, 7, 8 shops that are going to be there now.
What's this green thing?
There are shop windows that have got chav-proof metal blinds in front of them.
Yeah,
I think
roller
that's what
blind
supplies
things.
roller blinds that have got graffiti
Yeah,
over them. One of them's
just to
graffitied
add-
with Callum, by the way, and I don't know whether that's Callum Logan or Callum the evil 10-year-old who's been harassing poor Joseph at school.
These photos are all night shots.
Yes, yeah.
Is there
To make
more
them
than
look
one?
even
I thought there
grittier.
was more
Yeah,
than
there's
one.
one. We're just
Where's the
looking
other
down.
one?
There is one more. There's one
Oh,
here.
yeah,
look.
yeah.
So
Okay,
you got your bottom row of shops where there's like 8 or so of them, and then some steps that curve round and then back in again that take
Like
you up to
stone
the flats
steps,
above.
Exterior stone steps.
And these flats above again, there's what, 10 of them or so, although they're referred to here as masonettes, which is something that gets Gemma's goat up.
Right, listen. Okay, right. So it kind of looks like, imagine, if you're not from the UK, imagine a motel, but instead of
Oh, good comparison, it does.
like you go straight into the rooms, they're like above shops, so you have to walk up steps to get to them.
Yeah.
But I really hate the fact that there is no consensus for the meaning of the word masonette.
In this
Feels
country.
as though there really is an opportunity here to make something consistent. We have flats, we have houses. A masonette, in my opinion, makes sense that it doesn't mean either of those things, but means a house divided into 2 individual living spaces with their own separate front door.
But then we kind of mostly think that because that's where we live.
That's where we live. But I don't live there anymore. I have no attachment to the word masonette to mean any one particular thing, but I am fed up with it being used to mean literally anything.
Well, even
you
on
want.
Coronation Street, it's meant something different to these in the past, hasn't it? Because back in the day, you had
Yeah.
Val Barlow living in the masonettes on the other side of the street. I suppose that was more similar to these ones, weren't they? Although there were maybe some downstairs
means
masonettes
to me
there.
any living space which is a building, but you have your own separate individual front door that leads to the outside.
Yeah. And there's also,
which I guess maybe this is,
Yeah.
but these are flats.
but the houses on the opposite
Or
side of the street now,
apartments.
so the even houses, so Gail's house, who else lives there? Yasmin's house, and so on. They're also called masonettes at
shouldn't
the
be
moment.
called
They're really,
masonettes
really
'cause
not.
they're
They're just
houses.
houses. But yeah, there's a load of those, so there's more chance for characters to move in there. Although again, I think having all the characters there being characters on the street would be a bit odd, and we
but I just
absolutely do not want another 10 families moving onto the programme.
No, but I just want to say this makes more sense to me that given the economic status of a lot of the characters on the show and how difficult it is to own your own home, that there are a greater number of more diverse places to live.
Yeah.
Because at the moment, you live on the street in a terraced house or in the masonettes across the way, or you live in a flat above a shop, or you live in either Victoria Court or Red Bank apartments, which
Yeah.
are all really high-end, fancy apartments, which makes sense because there are a lot of people that live in Manchester that live in places like that. But there's nowhere really that's kind of like the
No, and all the people that couldn't afford their own place lodge with somebody.
Yeah.
So this could be the opportunity for people to move away. So some of the houses aren't quite so
and I said
possibly.
that there are people that live above flats, but there's not that shops. There's not that many, so this increases the number by quite a lot.
Yeah. And so in the middle of this, there's this kind of piazza area, which is the paved bit
It's
where
grey
everyone can hang out. Grey.
Flagstones.
Yeah. So like Gemma said, not the most attractive of places, and some of the designs on the CGI render of it are also like there's paint flaking and everything. We're supposed to get the idea that this was like, a 60s build maybe, and it certainly seemed better days.
It really makes sense. This is this very familiar sight for lots of people that don't live in pretty little rural villages or fancy city centres.
They haven't revealed yet exactly where on the lot this is going to be. My initial thought was they're going to have to take up some car park space for this, but there's been a little bit of digging around from some people on Twitter over the last few days I've seen that reckon that it's going to be tucked in a little bit behind where like the tattoo parlour and everything are. There's a little square there, isn't it? Which is a quite small space, but I don't know, maybe you don't need much space for this.
No, it doesn't seem like it's going to be as big as I thought it should be, but it is taking up, isn't it? It is taking up parking space, and I wonder whether the parking spaces are for cars that are normally parked, like TV cars, or if they're like staff car.
Maybe I don't know. I'm not.
Because I know that they have problems with people not being able to park.
Yeah, well, maybe next time we go up to the set, we'll be able to have a sneaky look and see where that is.
Let's take a drone.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Gosh, yeah. Let's drone it. Well, actually, you can probably go up to the top of that massive
Yeah,
block
you
of
can.
flats across the water and just look at it from down there. Anyway, we've got a few quotes from people who are involved in this, which we'll go through first, then we'll carry on our little chat. So we got Rosie Mullins Hoyle, who's the production designer behind this, who has said, "We're extremely excited to be starting."
So much fun.
I know. We're extremely excited to be starting to build Weatherfield Precinct this week after a year of technical drawings, model making, visualising and planning. An incredible amount of research has been carried out focusing on the 1960s, local architecture, and we're striving to create an authentic area of Weatherfield with a grittier vibe to the existing street that we know and love.
So I haven't read this. So.
Yeah, no. The build is being led by myself and construction manager Keith Eccleston and is a fantastic opportunity to use some of the amazing behind-the-scenes talents we have on the show with this bespoke joinery, scenic artwork, graphic design and set dressing skills all being involved. I cannot wait to meet the characters that may call it home and see the businesses that will be created and the storytelling potential of an old but new part of Weatherfield. Well, she's certainly selling that to me. I'm still a little bit concerned about, more characters.
No, don't
Corrie
want any
doesn't
more.
need more characters.
Unless this is like a long game and they're going to do like a Weatherfield, like, a spin-off show.
The Precinct. I can see it now.
Precinct.
Maybe. By the way, what we haven't mentioned is that if for many of our overseas listeners, Precinct, doesn't it mean like a police station or something that they call?
Isn't it like a jurisdiction area?
I don't know. It's something related to the police in America, I think. But yeah, nothing
Yeah, it
to do
doesn't
with
mean
this
that
although we
here.
probably will see quite a few police visits to this place. Ian McLeod, our glorious producer on Coronation Street, has said the fabled Weatherfield Precinct has been much discussed but little seen on the show in our 61 years, and I'm really excited to be expanding the Coronation Street universe. The plans for the shopping area are drawn directly from the real-world Salford environ, nice, that inspired the show's creator Tony Warren and exemplified the authenticity and ambition we still prize as we move to hour-long episodes this week. And then we've also got John Whiston, who's the MD of Continuing Drama and head of ITV in the North, saying, as we hopefully come out of COVID and start to stretch our dramatic legs again, it'll be great to be able to play exciting new stories against a brand new backdrop. And it's a testament to the confidence ITV has in the show that it's investing so much in our future. Mind you, I guess it won't be long before we blow it up, burn it down, or crash a tram into it.
I would like them to crash a helicopter.
Yes, please. This feels like they're really... What?
I've just had a brilliant idea.
Go for it.
Right? They need to crash a helicopter, and it should be a celebrity, a local celebrity. So how about some people from Weatherfield Football Club?
Oh yeah, there we go. Weatherfield FC crash land on there. Oh no, James. Can't save him. What's your last words, James?
Shut up, James. I'm sorry, we can't rescue you. I'm perfectly fine. No, you're dead.
No, his last words are...
Football.
Tell mum and dad. Football.
Tell mum and dad I love...
So it
football.
certainly seems like they're planning to kind of keep this in and keep,
Well,
it's
why
not
would
a
they-
temporary kind of let's pop it up for a bit. We're going to be seeing
What,
this whether we like it
temporary
or not.
pop-up
Pop up
Weatherfield
massive
Precinct.
expensive precinct. Yeah, this is going to be a major part of the show in the coming years. Which I don't know. When I first saw this, because, like I said, I went to sleep at about 11 o'clock that night and said, Gemma, you got to come and wake me up or tell me if there's anything exciting, and you didn't. So I woke up in the morning.
I texted you.
Yeah, you texted me, but I didn't get that until the morning. It's fine.
I'm not going to come and wake you up and
Michael,
go,
they're
guess
cancelling Coronation
what?
Street.
More Maisonettes.
No, exactly. So I don't mind. So I woke up and I was like, oh, what's this? And my first reaction, honestly, was negative.
Why?
Because I thought...
You're annoying bitch.
I want them to film outside the set more.
Oh,
I
yeah.
want location shoots more. It was so brill having the stuff with Abby out in a car and everything this week. And this is just going to give Coronation Street more excuses not to get out into Manchester. And I totally get it. I know that location shooting is not easy. I know it's expensive. You got to close roads down. You got to... I mean, it's also an invitation for the Paps to get you and say, well, look what Coronation Street's going to be doing in 8 weeks' time or whenever when this airs. So I totally get it, but it feels to me like it's going to do even more to make the show seem more closed
Insular.
Insular is the word I was thinking, but I didn't want to say it in case I was wrong. But, I mean, thinking about it more, of course I'm excited to see it, and it does open up lots more storyline potential, and it'll make a nice change. But
I mean,
there is a tinge of nervousness about it.
My only real question is which royal is going to cut the ribbon?
Oh yes, maybe.
Not hopefully Princess Michael of Kent.
We'll get the Queen back. They're best mates.
The
now.
Queen is still very sick.
I thought
she's cancelled.
Right now.
She's cancelled an event.
Oh, poor Queen.
I'm worried.
What were you? Was your first thought excitement about this, or were you more negative?
I thought that's really cool.
I'm such a downer.
It is nice. The thing is, Michael, you know, I understand completely where you're coming from, but on the other hand, they can't really film a precinct anywhere else, and it's either never have this precinct, which is canon in this in the show. It's in a place that has been referred to.
But I mean, they've gone 61 years without showing it.
It's not essential. I'm not going to lie, but
are there going to be too many stories? Are they going to feel they have to film there now?
That there is a danger again of decreasing the value and importance of other sets.
Yeah, I mean,
to spread the, you know.
This show is called Coronation Street, and the more that these set expansions have happened over the years, the less of actual Coronation Street we've seen.
Thing is, I just want more Rover scenes, and I feel as though if there are more places that aren't the Rovers, they're going to film there.
Yeah, I know.
But
agree.
you know, the other thing you've got to think about is the ease of filming and doing. We know that they have different units filming at the same time. Is this actually going to make it easier?
Yeah, sure.
Because, you know,
you've got little nook.
You've got different sound studios, don't you? And different sets are in each one. So one thing that I've never actually really thought about, which seems very obvious to me now, is that you can't have. I don't know where everything is, but say I can't remember if Devs and the salon are in the same studio, but if they are, you can't film there at the same time.
Yeah.
So what do you do? And the other thing also is that there might be space inside some of these buildings for interior sets that aren't necessarily linked to these places.
It looks like from the artist's render that it's
stories.
Yeah, but it looks quite just the frontage.
It could be just a frontage. We don't know. It could be lots of nice corridor
I'm going to
scenes.
say it probably is. Lots and the lots of blinds will be down, so we can't see
because
inside.
let's not forget that we do have the EE shop and the co-op, but we've never actually been inside either of them, and we don't really. Do we really need to? I don't know. Is this just somewhere? Because you can film down Coronation Street, you can film down Victoria Street, you can film down Rosamond Street, you can film in Victoria Gardens, you can film in you know, behind the
in Viaduct
you know,
Street.
But can you do that at the same time? I don't know. Would they be able to now film something in the precinct and something, say, round Devs? I don't know.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
I just think that it's a great idea. I really like this because, again, I like things that really reflect genuinely what life is like for lots of people. And
Coronation Street has been a little bit kind of going a bit middle classy, hasn't it?
It really has. And, you know, I'm middle class.
This has taken it back to its roots in a way.
But I also have, you know, I'm also feel like I'm working class, and I think a lot of people have that feeling. And we do sometimes feel like we're stuck in between two places. But I do think that Coronation Street has forgotten its working class roots, and not everybody has, you know, and not everybody's going to eat at the bistro and speed dial.
Tell you what, if this gives them somewhere else to eat, that'd be great, because it's bistro speed dial, isn't it? Although I don't think there's going to be any high class restaurants at this place.
No, but you know, a bakery, a butcher's.
Yeah. I just got a feeling it's just going to be frontages. I don't know whether there's going to be any new places for them to go inside. I might be wrong. I don't know why I'm getting that, but I just think it's going to be a bit of a backdrop.
The danger is that they spread their characters out so much that there's no reason for them to be. A lot of the interactions on Coronation Street are due to forced geography. Like, why is Roy talking to Shona? I mean, why is Ken talking to Shona? Because they're both in the cafe together. Yeah, you know.
Yeah.
You have to force those.
This might spread people out a bit too much.
And you know, a lot of people like Eileen, and you know, he doesn't have a big family unit. Why is she going to talk to anybody? Because she's at work, or she's got a lodger at home and she's talking to them there.
I'm very interested to find out how often this is actually going to be used, because like I said, we've gone 61 years without it, and since the Victoria Street set has been sprung up, I mean, that gets used, almost every episode, doesn't it, for something. Is it going to be the same for this? It doesn't feel as something that is not in any way connected to the rest of the street. We're not supposed to imagine this is just, around the corner or anything. It feels like you could very easily go weeks or months without using it, and then it feels like a waste of money. So I'm fascinated to see what the plans are they have for this.
I just think it's lovely that there's somewhere that looks like, there are about 3 or 4 places in walking distance that look exactly like this from our house.
Yeah, I can think of some. The other thing that I was thinking with the...
and they are sometimes scary.
They are. Like our man on the train the other day. We're easily scared by some people. I was thinking about the fact that some of these could be fronts and not actual sets that ever get used inside, or businesses that are going to be put inside. There are still some businesses on Victoria Street that aren't used, aren't they? And they're still populating them now. We've only had the funeral parlour for a little while. You got your Tattoo'll Do Nicely that you've never been inside. You got your snooker hall that you've been in once for a very memorable scene with the Black Ball Butcher.
If this is more ghosts, I say
the haunted
double
precinct,
thumbs up. The haunted lady of Weatherfield Precinct.
If they haven't got enough scope for putting businesses in Victoria Street, what makes us think that they'll put some here? I don't know.
But I just want to point out the high street in this country is not particularly healthy.
No.
But I think charity shops, and I think...
Charity shop would fit here, definitely.
Well, we know that Emily worked in a charity shop. Is this where it was?
No, Emily's... For a little bit, the charity shop was where the salon was now, when that salon first opened.
We know that there are charity shops in the precinct, like I said before.
Yeah, they've said.
Is Coronation Street going to give a free slot for advertising to a charity partner?
Maybe.
Because I can see that being, we sometimes give a free advert in the magazine to a charity.
Yeah.
Why not? Why can't Coronation Street do that? Which charity would they pick? That's a good question.
Maybe they just rotate it depending on which charity they're using at the moment.
The other thing is that they've done quite a few things where they've had markets and stuff. Could this be a marketplace?
That would be a very good idea, because putting the market on Victoria Street never really works for me. It feels a bit too cramped, and they can only fit like a couple of stalls there. There's actually a decent amount of space to have a Weatherfield market here. I hadn't even considered that, but that's a jolly good idea.
Thank you. This could be the start of many a fun run. This could be a place where we get Kirk dressed up as Buzzer the Bee trying to solicit charity donations for Weatherfield Football Club, putting together money to get James a clue, for example.
Maybe. I want to know who's going to be the first person stabbed or lying there dead on the flagstones. Who's going to fall over the edge of the balcony?
Gemma and Chesney let the children play with broken glass.
Yeah, maybe.
Which is a time-honoured tradition in shopping precincts across the country.
Yeah, absolutely. Something else that I saw online about it, just like ideas. Could any current businesses on Coronation Street move there possibly? And I don't know what particularly, but
I just think there's lots of businesses that you would expect to see. I've listed a lot of them.
Yeah.
The other thing that I'm interested in is that we know that Coronation Street was talking about expanding the set previously with facades. That I don't know if they've actually manifested. They talked about having a pharmacy.
Yeah, well, that's still ongoing. I think that's going to be in the thing that's opening in June.
I just wonder whether they've said,
do
you know what? Let's not put it there. Let's put it in the precinct.
No, I think that is part of it. Well, but then it feels a bit redundant if they're going to have the potential to have a whole load of other shops here.
It's all very interesting. It's all very exciting. What's going to happen?
I'm also kind of glad that there's somewhere else that they can use as dodgy street, because at the moment, if they want to have somewhere that's not Coronation Street, not Rosamond Street, not Victoria Street, they just bung it in that Kitchener Street, behind Roy's, because that's where they I think had the club recently. When Kelly was being a down and out, she was huddled there.
Kelly can be homeless in the precinct now.
That's perfect for her. So that tiny little mini street there,
Abby,
the tanning salon was there. I mean, this would be a perfect place for somewhere like that.
Outside of the cancer research charity shop.
But I do worry a little bit that Corrie's going to go too far down the gritty route with it.
We don't need it to be EastEnders.
Exactly.
And EastEnders obviously just revealed their new set, haven't they?
Oh yes,
I don't know anything about what it looks like, but everyone was really impressed and thought it was great.
To be honest. So yeah,
I've always thought that EastEnders feels like it has a bigger set than Coronation Street.
I've got no. I mean, they've got a whole square,
Yeah,
haven't they, with a
exactly.
little bit of grass in the middle. But I don't know how big it is. I mean, I wonder if you could. It's probably very, very easy to do. Just like finding it on Google Maps and plonking it on top of the other one. I think with all the expansions that Corrie's had in the last few years, I wouldn't be surprised if Coronation Street is bigger. Because I mean, we've still got like now the factory set. You've got the whole Brewery Lane bit back there, which doesn't really get used for anything. There's quite a lot, isn't there?
It
makes me wonder, when are they going to stop?
Yeah, I know. And finally, I think one thing to say is that this does feel like quite positive news as far as how the health of the show
Oh yeah,
is
absolutely.
going.
They wouldn't do this
They're
if they were
investing.
worried.
This is going to be millions of pounds,
Yeah.
surely, to build all this crap. To make it look old and clapped out. So they're obviously not concerned. Hopefully that's not that's good. You know, hopefully they're not gonna.
Yeah, I reckon we might have like some of the young teens like move out into a flat there. I think that might be a nice early story, like having Asher move out.
It would have made much more sense
if
if Asher and Corrie had moved into a dive above a kebab shop than
Nick and Leanne's flat. Although, I mean, Corrie was very rich, wasn't he? It was Stefan that was bankrolling that one.
I know.
I think we might have, or like, you know, at the moment we've got Faye, Craig, Emma, Tyrone all living together in the same place, which is a bit silly.
Yeah.
Having Craig and Faye move into one of these would be good.
But that kind of
Craig wouldn't be able to tear himself away from the window with all the ne'er do wells.
There's plenty of ne'er do wells city. That kind of layout or kind of size flat is going to be the sort of thing that people are going to be living in.
Yeah, definitely. It's a good starter homes. And ending homes, because there might be some
There's
OAPs
some old
there as
people
well.
living in there.
Oh, I really hope that there's going to be a crotchety old woman living in one of them. Oh, that'd be great.
I just don't need any new characters.
But
at the same time, if I could swap
that.
out some oldies for some newies, I would
Maybe.
not be.
Maybe.
This is why I think that we should start this off with dropping a helicopter on a few of them.
So we've got the new bit with possibly the pharmacy, which they've been building for the past 2 years. It feels like opening this
And this
June,
is also
so
going to be a
see
visitor
that.
centre, isn't it?
Yeah, the visitor centre, that is
cafe,
all coming
shop,
in 3-4
Rovers
months time.
Return pub.
Yeah, and then this new bit is it says 6 months to be done, so expect to see it, late autumn. As long as there aren't any hold-ups. I mean, maybe we're going to have something on the Super Soap Week there in October. We will have to wait and see.
I mean, Paul at Corrie put a map of it, didn't he? Like where it probably is. Because it's inside their zone of whatever, they don't have to go through the council.
No, if you go onto the Trafford building regs website, there's nothing there.
But what they did do, didn't they, I think, when they opened the new Victoria Street, was they had like a scene of somebody walking all the way along, didn't they?
Oh yeah.
So are they going to do the same thing again?
I hope so. I can't wait to see it. I cannot wait to see it. And I also wonder, I mean, I assume they will have it open on the Coronation Street tour once it's there as well, especially if it's just, because at the moment the Coronation Street tour, you come in Viaduct Street, down the street, out Victoria Street, and bam, you're done in the car park. But if that bit is round to the left of Victoria Street, then that could be a nice closing part. It's like, here is the brand new set, everybody.
Right, so
starting to make the £35 feel a little bit more worth it now.
If I'm walking along Victoria Street, and I'm walking away from Roy's Rolls and I'm walking up towards EE and the garden, and where is this place?
I think it's like over the other side of the tram station.
So there's no access.
I don't think so.
That's going to be annoying, isn't it?
I don't know. I'm making this up. I'm sure we will find out in the coming months what's going to happen.
Yeah, because the thing to consider also is that there is like a parallel universe that exists the other side of Victoria Court, where the police station is, that is supposed to be nowhere near everything else.
And I cannot see that whenever I don't need it to connect.
I'm listening to what I'm saying.
Go on.
Are they going to connect it to the precinct?
Oh, maybe. But whenever I see anyone outside the police station on Coronation Street now, I can't picture it being anywhere other than just around the corner from Roy's, because I've literally walked there from there. I kind of want this new bit to be blocked off.
Right.
So in my head,
talk about this now.
We've been speaking about this for half an hour. It's big news. It's not every day that this happens, is it? So, and that's why we didn't want to put anything else in it. No, we won't.
Oh, the other thing to say is that if you do want to go see for yourself, the Coronation Street set, the tour's now open.
Are they're back on as of today when this podcast is being released. You can go and do
now
the Coronation Street tour again.
£35, and I think it's only weekends.
It is only weekends. Personally, I would say
person.
hold out until the summer, because then you'll be able to see the new bit that's open.
If you've never been before, you'll love it.
Oh yeah, it's great.
It's not very long. It's less. It'll be an hour. You'll be done in an hour. But you get to see everything, and they let you take photos. Yeah. It is really good fun,
and you can have a sneaky look at what the development's doing, I suppose.
And if you've got a keen eye, you might spot some spoilers. Like some people before, I remember, saw the licensee name changed over the Rovers at one point, etc., etc.
Exactly. There's always stuff to look out for.
It is fun. It really is fun.
It is.
It is just. Not everybody has £35 each.
No. And if you've been before, there's not going to be mega changes. Although with this one, you have got Seb's Garden that you can go to. And the funeral parlour is going to be new as well. So
and the EE shop, as opened by Kevin Bacon.
I know that you mentioned him earlier. Paul from Corrie Art has said he's going to see the new Corrie tour set tomorrow.
Yeah, hopefully
Saturday.
He'll post some things on social media.
Look out for lots of pictures for those. It should be fun.
Yes, exciting.
Right,
that's it.
That is the news.